I'm going to show you a bunch of crazy exploits that when you combine them all, you'll be able to level each of your magic skills from 0 to 100 in 5 minutes in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. You don't have to use all the exploits that I show you, but each one we add on is going to save a significant amount of time. So the first thing we're going to need is this stone right here. So this stone is south of Skingrad on the west side of the map, directly south of the Grateful Pass stables. You'll have to go here, and then you'll have to wait time until it's nighttime. And if it's already nighttime, then you won't have to wait. Once you load in from that, you're going to activate the Apprentice Stone, say yes. Now you have a skill that we're going to use later on in the video. Now you're going to wait till daytime, and you're going to head over to the Imperial City Market District. You're going to come in and you're going to turn to the right and head over here. We need to go to the Gilded Carafe right here. Inside of here is an alchemist named Claudette. You're going to barter with her. You're going to go to her alchemy ingredients. You're going to go to the highest priced first. And you're going to scroll down. You're going to buy a mortar and pestle. If you already got one, good. Now what you're going to do is go to cheapest first. And you're going to look through here until you find something. You see at the bottom of the effects. You want to find one that has Restore Magica. Now if you have level 25 alchemy, you'll only be able to see the first effect. And so you'll have to find one where the first effect is Restore Magica. If she doesn't have anything that's going to work for you, what you'll have to do is leave the store, go across the street, and go back over to here just to get away from the store. Wait for 3 days, so 24 hours 3 times in a row, then wait 1 additional hour, and then go back, and she'll refresh all her items. I refreshed it. Now she has a steel blue Entoloma cap, so just keep doing it until you find what you need. The higher your alchemy, the easier the step's going to be, but you have to find ingredients. 2 different ingredients that have Restore Magica. Oh, there's the other one. Bog Beacon Asco Cap. Now you're going to go outside and you have 2 options. You can either make it into a potion right now, or you can instead duplicate the items themselves and then level up your alchemy that way. The higher your alchemy, the better everything's going to be. We're going to go in here. We're going to Restore Magica. Back out of this. We're going to pick 2 different ingredients that do that. We don't want Shield on Self, even though it doesn't really matter that much. We'll pick that. There we go. We only need 1 potion. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find an empty barrel. There's plenty here in the market district. Going to hit search at the bottom, and then we're going to do the duplication exploit on this thing. So we're going to go to our alchemy. We're going to go to highest value first because it's going to be worth a little bit more than some of the other stuff. I've already made a bunch. So I have a bunch. I've duplicated them. But what you're going to do to duplicate, I'll show you PC and controller. On PC, you drag over one of the potions, select 1 potion, do it again, and then it goes over there. Then pick something you have a lot of, like, say, iron arrows. Drag them over, let go, and then hit enter twice. Then when you go back to your potions, now you'll have even more. So I just doubled my potions. And then from there, you can take the same potion, and you can put 1 in here, and then you can drag it over, and then drag the same potion over again, and double them up, and now I have 1,500. Be careful, though, because you'll eventually get overweight. The one nice thing about homemade potions is they only weigh 0.1 each. I'm probably going to throw some of these on the ground now. I'm a little bit overweight. For controller, what you're going to do is you're going to swap to the right tab, and you're going to go to the alchemy. Then you're going to go back to your tab. You're going to put in one of these. You can hit L1 or LB in order to just select one, put it in. Then you're going to swap over to whatever tab has, say, iron arrows or whatever. You're going to press A and RB at the same time, but the A comes first, or if it's a PlayStation controller, it's X and R1. So A and then RB. And if you do it right, it'll bring this up, and you'll see that at the top it says LB, which means we're on the right menu. Now we hit continue and then grab the potion. And now when we head back over to here, we go back down to that potion. Now we have 1,606, so we just duplicated even more. And then you can keep repeating this process as much as you want. Now, I do recommend getting a bunch. You're going to be crawling at first, but we're right next to the shop that we can sell them at. So just duplicate a ton of them, have how many you want, and then come over to the Gilded Carafe in order to make some money real fast. So speak to Claudette, go to bartering, and then take your potions, and you're going to sell them in batches of whatever she'll take. She can buy 1,200 gold worth at a time. So however many you sell is going to be based on your alchemy skill. That determines how much they're worth. In my case, I could sell something like 50 or something at a time. So you're just going to repeat this process until you can actually move again. But you're going to want to keep as many Restore Magicas as you can possibly carry without being overweight. Now, this is optional, but if you sell enough to her, you'll get your mercantile up to 50. It's not bugged in the remake, so if you just sell 50 to 100,000 gold worth of potions, you'll get mercantile 50, and then she will offer to you under armor the Birthright of Astalon, and you'll want to buy that with some of the money that you made. Now you're going to head across the street to Edgar's Discount Spells. What I would recommend doing is just purchasing every single spell he has, because when you buy spells, it'll unlock the ability to make custom spells, which is something we're going to need to do. Now we need to take a detour over to the northern part of the map by Bruma. And you're going to go to the Wild Eye Stables, and you're going to head to the northeast like this, and just keep going. Eventually, you'll end up near an area called Dragon Claw Rock. You can see it on the compass. From there, change to the southeast, and you're going to head up the mountain right here. There'll be this exact spot that you'll be able to see right here, where you can easily scale this mountain. Now, there's multiple ways to get up this mountain, so feel free to get up however you want. Right now, we are right here by the Im on mountains on the map. And this is going to be one of the easiest places. This is the easiest place that I have found in order to scale this mountain. So you're going to get up here. If you have any fatigue potions, drink them. And you can actually jump up more easily if you face sideways. So you can actually just look to the side. And that'll allow you to just jump right up super fast. And then once you get to the top here, see a little bit further. There we go. Now, the reason I'm having you go all the way over here is we need to go to the Frostcrag Spire. So you're going to head up here, make sure you get the fast travel, or else you'll have to do that again later. I did that once. So right here is where the fast travel spot is. Be sure to grab that. Then you're going to head clockwise around this spire. There's something over here that you're going to need to do. So up here, there is this thing right here, and next to it is a chest. I've already looted the chest, but this chest will have a key in it. You're going to grab that key, and then you're going to keep going clockwise around the spire, and then you're going to be at the entrance. You're going to get inside of here. If you've never been in here before, there'll be a book in front of you. You're going to interact with this book once, and then you're going to wait for this door to open. It'll eventually open. But then we're done here for now, for just a moment. Now we need to go back to the Imperial City. Once you're here, you're going to go back to the right again, but this time not to the Gilded Carafe. You're going to go to the end to the Mystic Emporium. Inside here is a woman named Auralinway or something. And you're going to barter with her, and you're going to go to the highest priced items first. I've already purchased them. But what you're going to need is the Mage Tallow Candles. It also wouldn't hurt to get some upgrades for the place, so that way you have a storage chest in there so you can duplicate items at the Frostcrag Spire, but that's optional. Mainly you need the Mage Tallow Candles. Now you're going to head back to the Frostcrag Spire. You're going to go to the back here. You're going to activate the Altar of Spellmaking. Now you can make spells. You also could go to do the Mage's Guild quest if you would prefer to do it that way. So what we're going to do here, the first thing we need to do is level up Restoration. Also, if you don't have enough gold, you might want to go and sell a bunch of things, make sure you have gold, because these spells will cost gold, and it'll cost more the higher you get. It shouldn't cost a crazy amount, but it would help to have some gold available, okay? So let's start with Restoration. We can do almost anything for this, so we're just going to pick Fortify Attribute, and then we're going to change this to whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to make this beyond touch, and then we're going to turn the magnitude up to, say, 40, and turn the duration up to, like, 5. Then we're going to hit Confirm. It'll say our Restoration is not high enough. Then what we're going to do is turn it down some and then look again. Then we're going to turn it up, and we're going to try to find what's like the highest we can go. So 32. Found 32 is the cutoff. Change it down 2 from that just to give you a little bit of wiggle room, and then pick a spell like Light or Restore Health or Shield. One of these ones is going to do something. So we're going to do Light on self with the lowest stats. So the way this first exploit works is the class of spell, the school of the spell, is determined by which one uses a higher percentage of the Magicka. So Fortify Intelligence is a restoration spell. It's doing the bulk of the Magicka usage, and then Light on Self is using almost nothing. But if I do Fortify Intelligence on Touch, I would have to touch someone or I won't get XP. But Touch is the fastest animation for leveling up, so we want Touch. But if we combine it with something, just a little throw-on thing that's doing something to ourself, then that will make the whole spell count as activated, even though only the minor part actually did anything. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to name it, say, Resto 1 to 25. Okay, you're going to create that spell, and now what you can do is go to your inventory, or go to your magic, and go to touch spells, because it's mainly a touch spell. That's the primary. And you'll see it's a restoration spell, even though it has Light on Self. Even though, I don't know, maybe Light is restoration. I think it's like mysticism or something. Anyway, so you're going to equip that spell. Then what you're going to do, and this is where it comes in handy, those potions we made. You cannot use normal Restore Magicka potions. So you know how the game will have potions of healing. They'll heal a flat amount. There's a reason we had to make a Restore Magicka. When you make it yourself, it does it over time, and that is critical. Also, the higher your alchemy, the better, so consider leveling up your alchemy before doing this. It'll just make it easier. It's not necessary because of the duping, but the more it does, the easier and faster this is going to be. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, at the bottom it says Show Shortcuts. Open that up. You're going to equip this to one of your shortcuts. I'm going to equip mine to 1. Then we're going to back out of this. Now we have the spell equipped, and we have those set up. So now we can hold the spell, and it's going to level up our restoration. We were 18, we're already at 19. Now we're out of Magicka. So now we're going to drink like 4 or 5 of those potions, depending on how good they are. You may need more. And now we can infinite cast. And so now what we'll do is we'll just sit here and hold the button, and when the potions run out, we just drink some more, and you're going to repeat that process until you're either out of potions or until you're done leveling. Now, in our case, we need to get restoration to level 25, and then we got to do something else. So once you get it to level 25, which should be any second now, there we go, then you're going to go to the spell making, and you're going to do this again on touch, and then you're going to set this one higher, some duration up or something, and you're going to see now 50 is too high. So we're going to bring it down from 50, and we're going to try to find where we can do it. Okay, so 39, 44 is good, 47 is too much, 46, and then 45. 45 is the cutoff. Bring it down to, we're at 43, and then we add light on self, confirm, and then this one will be resto 25 to 50. Now, this will be the slowest of all the increments that we're going to do. So now, the thing is, the more magic or the higher level the spell is, the faster it's going to give us XP. So now we want to go and we want to equip that resto 25 to 50. We're going to drink a bunch of potions, and then we're going to cast. So you have to drink however many potions you need to be able to full speed cast this one. And then you're going to do the same thing until level 50. So hitting 50 took me about 2 minutes, and that's with a minor skill. If this was a major skill, I think we could get it to 100 in about 3 minutes or so. But that's beside the point. We're going to level this up even faster. There's some tricks we got to do. We got to exploit this. So now we are at the level 50 bracket. We're going to do another one of these strength ones on touch. Going to turn it way up. Confirm, and then you're going to do that same method of trying to find the sweet spot of where the cutoff is. So 56, 64, and then 59, and then let's just do 56, whatever. It doesn't have to be precise. Throw light on, self, and then resto 50 to 75, confirm. And at this point, we don't have enough Magicka to cast this. So we're probably going to back this off. If you don't have enough Magicka, you could also start getting a Fortify Attribute Intelligence to cast every so often. But in my case, I'm so close to it, I'm just going to bring it under the 94. Or actually, something else I can do here is, you remember that, I can go ahead and make this. You remember that chest piece that we bought? It finally comes in handy. So we have the Birthright of Astalon. This is going to be really nice because it gives you 50 Magicka. Now I have 144. So that's going to make it easier for me to level because now I can burn through more Magicka. Now at this point, the potions are going to get kind of hard to keep up with. We're going to do the 50 to 75. We're going to drink a bunch of potions. Can't even drink anymore. And then that should be able to keep up with it. And then we're going to grind this one. This one will be like twice as fast as 25 to 50 was or something like that. This one's super fast. So now we have Restoration 75. That took about a minute and a half. So now we're going to go here and we have to make an actual spell now. So we have to go to Fortify Skill. We need to buff our Restoration, and we need to buff it on self, and we need a magnitude of probably 30 to 35. We'll say 33. And then we'll set the duration to as much as we can afford, which is about 56 seconds. So we're going to name this 0, just so it'll be at the top, and then it'll be Resto Buff for Restoration Buff. Then what we need to do is our next leveling skill. So we're going to pick whatever, because it's not going to be on us, it won't matter. We need to set it to touch, and then put the magnitude up to 100, and set the duration to whatever it will let us do. So we'll move this down to 16, try 17, 18, 19. Okay, we need to do 17. I think was the highest we can go. We go down one from the highest so we don't, because when you put light on, it might push it over and then it'll be like, oh, you can't use it. Anyway, put the light on and then put that on self with lowest stats. This is going to be resto 75 to 100. We're going to create that. Now you notice I can't actually cast this spell. So when I go here to this, it's 180. I only have 144. So what I can do here is I can instead go to my shortcuts, the resto buff, put that on 2, and then put my leveling 1 on 3. And then what that will do is allow me to cast number 2, which will increase my level of restoration. Now when I go here, you'll see it's only 75 for restoration, 75 to 100. So every minute I'll have to cast that, which means I'll have to cast the resto buff probably twice in order to get to the max level. So now I can go to that other one, I can drink a bunch of Magicka potions, and now I can spam this one that uses 180, because as you level up your magic skills, your spells use less and less Magicka. So this one should be to where by the time that buff that I used wears off, I should already be high enough restoration to where I don't even need to cast it again. And as you can see here, because this spell is so high level, Restoration 75 to 100 is the fastest, okay? I'll probably skip ahead here in a second, but I just want to show you how fast it's going, that the last step literally takes like 30 seconds, maybe. If it's your major skill, I think it would take 30 seconds. As a minor skill, it takes like 45 or something like that, maybe as much as a minute. So fast forward 1 minute and we have Restoration 100. Now we can level all the other disciplines of magic in about 5 minutes or less. If it's a major skill, it should take about 3 minutes, okay? So we're fully prepped, and now we don't need those potions anymore, basically. We just need a few of them now, and they can even suck horribly now. So what we need to do now is say we're going to level Destruction next. What we're going to do is we're going to make a Fortify attribute on Intelligence. We're going to do it on Self with magnitude of 100. We only need like 5 seconds of this. We don't actually need a lot of this, so we can just say 0 buff 100, and then we're going to create that. Then what we're going to do is fortify a skill for whatever we're leveling up next. So Destruction, on Self, magnitude 100. Before we do that, though, we need to see how much magic we're going to have, because it's going to vary for each of you. So you're going to go over here to the buff Intelligence by 100. You're going to cast that one time, and then you're going to come back in here, go to your character, and see how much magicka you have. In my case, I have 324 max. Yours will vary based on what gear you have, what your intelligence base stat is, etc., etc. But whatever you see here, that's what you know it's going to be. So 324. So now we go in here and we're going to buff skill. We're going to buff Destruction on Self 100 as much as we can get for 324. So we're going to be able to get 74 seconds. So we're going to say, call it 0 buff Destruction 100. Okay. Now we can create that spell, and what we can do here now is go to our magic and go to that buff Destruction. We can show our shortcuts. We can put that on 3. We can put the buff Intelligence by 100 on 2. And then what we need to do is make a spell for leveling. So we'll take fire damage on touch, and we're going to put this up to as high as we can for a level 25. So let's try 23, 15, and then 19, and then we'll go down from there. One at a time, and it looks like 15 is the cutoff, so we'll go one below that to 14. We'll add light on Self. We're going to create this as Destruction 1 to 25. Create. Then we're going to go to our magic, and we're going to take that Destruction 1 to 25 and put on shortcut number 4. Then we're going to make sure everything's right, because I had them incorrect, actually. So mouse over Intelligence, select Intelligence, put that on 2, Destruction on 3, and then we have the fire on 4. So now we can go to number 2. And we can cast the Intelligence. Then we can go to number 3. We have enough Intelligence now to be able to cast the Destruction. Now we can double check this by going to our character, looking in here, and seeing Destruction at 109. Now we go to 4, and we need to drink just 1 potion, maybe 2, and then we can just sit here and spam, and it's only going to use, like, no magicka, basically. And this is going to work, like, the whole way. So because we have 100, this spell only costs 5 magicka, but it gives us the experience as if it uses, like, 30. And now we don't have to use potions. We just have to use 1 potion every so often, and then every, like, minute and a half, we have to refresh those buffs, so that way we don't need more potions. And now you're ready to grind, and you're going to do this one to 25, and then you're going to make an upgraded version and do that to 50, and make an upgraded version and do that to 75, and then an upgraded version and do that to 100, and then go on to the next school. And each of these schools, depending on if it's a major or minor skill, will take between 3 and 5 minutes to go from level 1 to level 100. And there you guys go. That is magic from 1 to 100 in 5 minutes or less, and in some cases 3 minutes. So hopefully I helped you guys out. I know there's a lot of exploits that we slapped together here, but it's pretty fun. I had fun making this one. So if any of you are struggling with magic levels or just wanted to boost, you can do this method, or you can do any part of this method. You don't have to combine all the factors. You can mix and match which way you want to do it and slow it down some. But this way was the fastest way that you're going to be able to level it up. I can't think of anything else that would level it up more other than the last 25 levels. Sometimes maybe if you had even more magicka, but I don't think it matters if you do restoration first. You just cast the buffs, and then you can cast whatever it is. The limit is on 75 to 100 is going to be the fact that you can't make a spell high enough to use more than a certain amount of magicka, or then it'll be a level 100 spell. When you're level 100, you don't need level anymore. So, and also, important note here, if you buff a skill to over 100, that does not make you able to use a skill that's level 100. If my Destruction's 21, and you try to use a Destruction skill that's level 50, and I buff my Destruction to 100, it does not allow me to use the level 50 destruction spell. You actually have to level to use the spells. Other than that, I think that covers everything. Use at your own risk, because doing stuff like this can totally ruin all the fun of the game, and you might do this and then 5 hours later go, wait, why am I doing this? What even is a video game anymore? But it's up to you. Some of you guys love this stuff. Some of you guys don't like this stuff, so just use it however you want. Maybe some of you just wanted to see it, just to see what the hell's going on. But now you know the fastest way to level up all schools of magic using massive exploits in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered.